G'day, my name's Craig Cobb. I've been trading for 20 years and I'm going to show you a couple of key levels that I'm watching on Bitcoin. And I'm going to start by saying this to you. If you like my content, give me a follow or hit the subscribe button, all that sort of stuff. It does help. First things first though, my scan this morning and yesterday for the most part too. Jesse Livermore wrote the book Reminiscence of a Stock Operator. And he said, and I love this saying because I love my fishing. He says, there's a time to be long, there's a time to be short, and there's a time to go fishing. Well, the last couple of days, there haven't been that many great opportunities. The market's in a little bit of flux. It doesn't look like it fully understands where it's at and what it wants to do. And whilst, we look at Bitcoin, we've had a bit of a pullback from those lows. And it's not been insignificant when you look at percentages from low to high. 10% or 10.5%, still got a long way to go. You see, I use these moving averages to aid my trading. And as I say, I've been doing this for over 20 years. You'll notice that my charts are really clean and my strategies and the way that I trade are really clean as well. I'm not really big on having too many indicators. In fact, the MACD is just the MACD. There's no signal line, there's no histogram. The way I use it, it's really simple. Anyway, I'm looking to see it pull back up into this zone further before I would consider shorting on the daily time frame on Bitcoin. And let's be honest, the daily trend is down, and therefore, for me, I'm more than happy to be looking for short trades because I trade trends. It doesn't matter if it goes up or down, I trade trends. As an investor, it's the monthly chart that I look at, and we're right in and around that zone. Anyone who's been following my stuff for a while, you'll have seen a long time ago me talking about $90,000 being the region where I'd still be happy and still be bullish on Bitcoin whilst this monthly trend is up. So macro picture is strong. Okay, macro trend still strong. What we need to see is hold or stall here for a little bit. So I'm going to show you a couple of the levels that I'm looking at. I'm going to show you why, for me, there's not been a huge amount of activity over the last 2 days trading wise. So as I said, Bitcoin's in a daily downtrend. There's no doubt about it. A snap back above 90,000 seems like we could potentially get it. We've had a little bit of a grind higher, and it is now down to the 4-hour time frame that I think a couple of answers will start to eventuate. Now you'll notice the 4-hour time frame, we're pulled back into these averages, moved away, pulled back into these averages twice here, and moved away. Each time we pulled into those averages, we moved away. And that's why I trade from those averages. That's why I've got a checklist system that works from those averages as one of the items. What you'll notice down here is now the moving averages have sort of crisscrossed. I don't care about the crisscross, but they're not fanned really, really nicely, which is open for me to be looking for more shorts. And as I go to the 12-hour, you'll also notice here there's a little bit of a higher low there. It's just starting to get a little bit messy. When I look at the 4-hour, there's a higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Now the next stage is where to from here. And I believe that there's a high probability that we do leg up a little bit further, but the high probability only comes into play if we can see a level broken. Let me show you what that level looks like right now. It's a level that I'm stalking. It's not ready just yet. There's a bit of a breakthrough, a bit of a bee's dick break. Why do I call it a bee's dick break? Because a bee's dick is rather small, and I can swallow a bee's dick. That's not what I meant to say. I can accept a bee's dick as an entry. If it's too far through, I'll ignore it. But if it's something like this is probably borderline. What I'm looking at is a higher low, another higher low. If I can get a third test up in here with a bit of convergence, I may just look to get long on a breakout of this level. But the reason I'm showing you this level is just that this one's starting to eventuate. The key level that I'm looking for further upside, if I'm to get a decent push above the 90s or deeper into the 90s, what I want to see is a significant push above this high here. Therefore, giving us a higher low and pushing out, stretching us out a little bit to give us some cyclicity within this 4-hour trend. Then I can start to drop down on those lower time frames. And I want to show it to, what's the one I'm looking, here you go, perfect. Something like this. What you'll notice here on ENA, when you look at this 1-hour trend, higher low, higher high, nice extension out, pulls back into this cradle zone, bullish candle, really nice move, pulls back, move. I'm looking at that sort of level of cyclicity before I'm going to be looking for anything to the long side. ENA has that, BAT had that for a period as well. We saw a nice move coming through here, and there's been a few other specs out there that have shown opportunity to the long side. But when I look at the top 10, let me take you through that right now, because a lot of the market, like I said, it's a good time, there's a time to be long, there's a time to be short, there's a time to go fishing. Higher low, higher high, higher low, in the middle. Nothing there on Ethereum. Binance, higher low, no higher high. Again, in the middle. Cardano hasn't pushed up. Doge, just pushed up, not enough for me to work with that cyclicity. Solana's got a nice trend, but it needs to extend itself further. Then I'm open to buying pullbacks. Now, XRP has done it fairly decently. The 2 hours probably the better trend here, but it's got stuck in here. It's not got that really nice, Mickey Mouse, Mickey Mouse, bouncing ball type thing. It's not doing it in a way that really opens the trend up for me to be trading. And you can see I'm showing you the top 10 because a lot of them have not pushed to new higher highs. There's another little level there that I'll keep an eye on Chainlink. If that can build over the next few hours, that could produce an opportunity as well. So for the time being, look, there's a really good time. There's a lot of time as a trader you've got to sit in your hands. Now I am sitting on my hands. I'm waiting to see things evolve. When some clarity of trend and some cyclicity comes back, I will engage once again. But as I say on the Bitcoin chart monthly, the macro picture is strong right there. Have a look at some of my posts recently if you want to do so. And you can see some of the macro stuff that's coming about and how cycles have worked in the past. But we're in the right area, back into this moving average zone. Each time we've been in there, we've moved really, really well. And that is an indication for me to see whether or not we've just got a pullback, or if we flip this, we might be going into bear market territory. For now, I look for opportunities to follow trends. And for the most part, I'm kind of waiting for the market to, reveal its hand. Anyway, I hope this finds you well, and I hope you're having a great day. It's been a rough November thus far. It'd be good to see the back end of it. My best case scenario here, if you saw my newsletter yesterday, it went out. I'd like to see it. I'd love to see it bounce violently, but just to hold in and around this region, giving us a small bullish candle in December would be ideal, setting us up for a candle like this or this to break the high in January, and then for a run in Q1 of next year. Now that's a perfect world. That's what I would like to see occur if we don't just rip straight up. Likelihood is we get a bit of a stall in this region, and that's absolutely fine. Could be another month or so, could be a couple of months. But if we're in this area, I'm more than happy. It gives the powers that be some time to work out what they're doing with interest rates, with liquidity, the end of QT, and a whole bunch of legislation that is in the macro picture looking quite strong. So short-term trade trends, long-term, I'm still trading the trend. It's just a pullback on the monthly. As I say, if you like this stuff, please do give me a follow, jump across, and ask me any questions if you've got them in the comments. Have a great day. I'll speak to you all very, very soon. Bye for now.